find bucktail probably the most important material that we could use. Right, and the reason I think it's really important is the structure of it. It's actually got air inside it, which everyone knows. But the thing is, you can create a lot of different things with it. If you were to travel and go saltwater fly fishing, you could travel with a few hooks and a bucktail and a bit of flash, and you could just about do anything with it. Before you, when you come tuna fishing, right, you can tie a simple fly, right, a very simple fly, and I just want to go through some of the rules, right, with fly tying. Rightio. Now, when you want to copy a fly, you need to have some measurements, right? So, the measurements that we use so we can copy flies, and it's always good to be able to copy a fly, because if you have the secret fly that you've discovered right there eating this particular fly, you want to be able to copy it, right? And copying it means if you tie a fly that has 6 strands of flash in it, and you tie that fly identically again the next time and have 12 strands of flash in it, it's a different fly. Right, so everything should be counted and measured and come up with what your program is to create, so you can duplicate things. So you use the width of the eye is one measurement, right? The length of the shank is one measurement, length of the hook is one measurement, the length of the gape is one measurement, and where the point of the hook hits the shank and where the barb hits the shank. They're all measurements, right? So when you tie, you always tie with 2 hooks. 2 hooks are sewn, are they? Yeah. Right, so one of the rules, and this is a rule that came from steelhead fishing, right? One of the rules, because they do a streamer where they tie the hair on top of the hook like that, right? And I wasn't really aware of it until I read a book by the name of Ken Abrams. Has anyone heard of Ken Abrams? Yep. Yeah, you and I talked about it a lot up on Claremont, didn't we? Ken Abrams, I think he's one of the greatest fly ties around today. He's right in synthetic, into natural materials, but his theory behind his fly tying is, you know, we were talking about tuna fishing before. We cast out, we pull it back. We cast out, we pull it back. We cast out, we pull it back. It's exactly the same as lure fishing, isn't it? Ken Abrams believes that we should use our fly line to deliver the fly, but also to be able to swim the fly. So when he creates flies that will be swum by the fly line. For example, a fast sinking line would swim the fly down, you know. In a current where you guys are fishing for trout in a stream, he fishes on the swing. His flies will actually swim with the being towed by the fly line. So the streamers that he ties up like this have to be tied in 3 segments, and the first segment is the one which is the most important, because the rule is if you tie anything on just behind the eye of the hook, it cannot extend past the bend of the hook more than the gape of the hook, right? Because if we make it go like this, right, when it gets wet and it does that, it will stay like that, right? But if we make it, and we'll hand stack this because it makes it easier to explain it. Does everyone understand what hand stacking is? Yeah, good. Rightio, so the gape of the hook, behind the hook is about here. So what you do is you create your first stack so that it does not extend past the bend of the hook more than the gape of the hook. And that stack will stop the next stack, which is slightly longer, from tail wrapping, and the next stack, which is slightly longer, from tail wrapping. It's this one which will protect it. It's not just simply a matter of going in and tying bang a clump. Does that make sense?
3 stages. Yeah.
3 stages. So we'll tie one, and you can put a body wrap on this. We won't bother about it. I just want to muck around. Yeah, so you put a small clump on first. It does not extend too far past the bend, right? So you come in with your bobbin hand, measure it, grab it with your vice hand, and then cut it off just in front of your fingers, you know, so it's a straight cut. Anything you tie always goes on your side of the hook, because then when you pull it across the top, it goes directly on top of the hook without really looking at it, right? And then you increase the pressure going forward, increase the pressure going back and then decrease the pressure as you get to the back of the stack. Right? Then you take another, we should do this in 3 colours, then you can see it. Righto, so we get that's our underneath stack. Our next stack's going to be slightly longer, right? So take your measurement, come in with your vice hand and cut just in front of your fingers. Right? Tie it just slightly on your side so it'll spin up on top of the hook, increase your pressure going forward. Right? You can see how we've got it this long and this long, and then we'll put white over the top of it here. Righto, so next one goes slightly longer again, right? So you get a staggered effect, and that's what protects it. So, right, so come in, chop it off.
Different masters.
Yeah, tie it directly on top.
I think they took a bit of ginger
forward. Now pull it all up, and just snug it down, come off the nose, and then tie it off. And basically it's just anything like that will catch a tuna, you know. And you see you've got a natural body shape. You know, so that's a steelhead flight.